All rise. Oyez, oyez, oyez. Silence is commanded by this honorable commission. All those having business, draw near.
Good morning. You may be seated. I've asked you to be seated at this time, and what I would like for you to do is for everyone to check your cell phones. All right, make sure they're in silent mode, or make sure you turn them off, because if they're confiscated, it's a job getting them back from Coleman's bed and breakfast. All right, so I don't want your phone to go out there, and then you're gonna have a time getting it back. So please, ma'am, please, sir, everybody, check your phones. I can promise you nobody of importance is gonna call you in between the hour that you'll be here, okay? We have with us today to bring us our inspiration, our invocation, Rabbi Robert Horse, all right? Rabbi Horse and I are good friends, and we go back, and so that he don't catch any of you off balance, he's a stand-up comedian. Right? But he's going to bring us our inspiration and our invocation, and when he signaled that it's time for us to have prayer and invocation, I'd ask all of you to restand at that time, and then after he gets through praying, and Commissioner Noah will lead us in pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Thank you, and I want to thank you again for all your support for our community, especially with events we've had recently. Today is Memorial Day weekend. What an incredible moment to be here as we honor our soldiers. Today, we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Today, for those who are Jewish, it is the Feast of Weeks, one of our holiest days of the year, as we celebrate Revelation, God giving the commandments to Moses. And in just 2.5 weeks, we celebrate the most important holiday in American history, Flag Day, as we celebrate the flag, which still is here. I consider even more important than July 4th. Coincidentally, also my birthday. I'll invite everyone now to please stand as we pray. God and God of our ancestors, today we say thank you for putting us in this country in this time period. Throughout history, we have had difficult moments wherever we have lived as human beings. But the one thing this country brings us, even during times of turmoil, is a feeling that we can make things better, a feeling of empowerment, a feeling that we can elect people to make the changes we need. Even in our darkest moments, we can thank God for living in the United States of America as we celebrate 250 years of independence. My people and every people have lived in darkness without the opportunity to stand up and pray as they wanted, without the opportunity to go where they wanted, without the opportunity to speak out against injustice. In our country today, 2026, we have changed. We can speak up, we can elect, we can do what is needed. So even in our moments of depression, of despair, I want to thank God today for the United States of America for giving me and all of us the opportunity to be born in this generation or the ones previous to us. May God continue to give us the privileges that we sometimes forget have never been seen before in human history. May those moments in which we look up at our phone far too often and become far too depressed because of what we see in the news be obliterated by our sense of understanding of being Americans. May God empower all of the people in front of me to make the changes that we need. And may we say as we conclude, God bless America. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
Thank you, and you may be seated. Roll call.
Chester A. Ellis, Chairman.
Present.
Melinda Scott Hodge, Vice Chairman, District 2.
Present.
Dean Kicklighter, Chairman Pro Tem, District 7.
Here.
Anthony Wayne Noah, District 1.
Here.
Bobby Lockett, District 3.
Here.
Shirley Sessions, District 4. Tanya Milton, District 5. Aaron Whiteley, District 6.
Here.
And Marcia Buford, District 8.
Here.
Now I'll call on Commissioner Milton as she introduces our youth commissioner who is with us today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. It is with great excitement that I introduce to you our youth commissioner this morning. He is Mr. Miles King, and Miles will be entering his senior year at Savannah Country Day. And he plans to attend the university, Georgia College and University, and he wants to major at mass communications, which I told him he could spend the summer with me doing the newspaper. So we want to welcome you, and if you have any questions or if you want to participate, just raise your hand and we'll acknowledge you. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and hopefully you will participate with us, all right, as we go forward. Now what I'd like to do is, there was a special election on the 19th for our 4th district. Today is Commissioner Sessions' last meeting with us, all right? And we just want to say thank you for coming in and stepping in and bringing us up to where we are. And it's been a joy and a pleasure working with you this short term. But I also want to do this now. Sitting to my left, at the far left, would you stand? Our newest commissioner for the 4th district, Brian Huxley, all right? He will be, the election from last Tuesday will be certified this coming Tuesday at noon, all right? Once he's certified, then he will take his place of it. Congratulations and thank you for being here, and we look forward to working with you. All right. Let me also recognize at this time our constitutional officers. I see the clerk is here, all right? Did I see any other? I know the mayor was in here. He'd probably be back. He's gonna have to be back to carry out the other duties that he has, okay? We get ready for our proclamations and our special presentations, and I'm going to call, yeah. All right, hold on a minute. Go.
Would you like to make an announcement that something's gonna be tabled today and
Oh, okay, yeah.
and something
Thank
else
you, I'm
would
glad.
just be, have a first reading?
Right.
But people's welcome to stay anyway if they want, but.
All of you, I'm glad he called it to my attention because we just got through talking about it in the back. On the agenda today is a second reading for the short-term rentals. All right, we're going to be tabling that because not only do I have other questions from the public meeting we had this past Tuesday, but other commissioners have some things that we want to make sure that the attorney knows answer for us. So if you're here because you wanted to speak on the second reading of the short-term rentals, we're not going to take that up today, all right? But we will announce again when it's going to be on there, and then you will have time for public comments. But there are issues questions that came up among the commissioners and from myself from listening to the public the other day, and I think that we need to cover that up before we talk about voting and talk about anything else we want to do. So staff have some work that they have to do to get that back with us before we bring it back off the table, all right? So if that's what you're here for, it's not gonna come up today, all right? We're gonna table it.
In addition, some may be here for a first reading regarding buffers,
Right.
and just wanted to let them know that we're
First-
not gonna have a discussion on
No
that
discussion,
today.
just first reading. All we do is read it into the records, all right? There'll be no discussion about
But
the
we'd love for you
buffers.
guys to all stay if you're here and anyway, but wanted to let you know all that.
All right?
Thank you. Amanda.
Okay, those are things that we talked about in the back, that he's bringing up, all right? All right, now, may I have whoever is representing, Omega Psi Phi? All of them can come.
They got on gold shoes. This is Cream. Good to see you, Commissioner. Point of personal privilege, want to recognize former Commissioner Jay Jones. Thank you for joining us here.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Jay says he was the best sixth district commissioner we ever had.
Hey, man.
All right, y'all going someplace? Y'all going someplace y'all shouldn't go. I'm not going there with you. Yeah. They're gonna take care of that. All right, I'm gonna read part of this, and then after I read part of this and put it into the records, all right, then I'll turn the mic over to you. And during that time, if everybody want to introduce themselves, that's fine, and whatever comments you want to make, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Step show.
The County of Chatham, Georgia, proclamation, whereas on April the 7th, 2026, a distinguished group, and I don't think that's right, though. No, that's what's written in here. And see, I know it ain't 2026 because you won't be no 100 years old.
It's 1926.
1926.
Yes, sir.
All right. Don't get no 2026. A distinguished group of Omega men united in Savannah to establish a grad chapter of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and a charter was granted under the name Mu Phi chapter. And whereas the founders of the Mu Phi chapter were visionary leaders who served and dedicated help sharing the future of the organization and the community. Now, therefore, I, Chester Ellis, on behalf of the Chatham County Board of Commissioners, do hereby recognize and congratulate Mu Psi chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated on the occasion of its centennial celebration, and extend sincere appreciation for a century of dedicated service and excellence, and encourage all citizens to join in celebrating this historic milestone and honoring the enduring legacy of Mu Psi chapter. All right, the mic is yours.
Yes, sir. To Chairman Chester Ellis, the Board of Commissioners, and everyone in attendance, I say to you, good morning.
Good morning.
I am Tamoris Robinson Sr., and I have the honor of serving as the bossless/president of the Mu Phi chapter of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And on behalf of all the members of the Mu Phi chapter, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Chairman Ellis and Chatham County for this wonderful proclamation. This proclamation is a recognition of our hard work and dedication by you, showcasing our mission, which is to serve this community. We are honored by that. The motto of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated is, friendship is essential to the soul. We would like to thank you for your support and shining a light on Omega's mission. The Mu Phi chapter was chartered on April 7, 1926, here in Savannah, Georgia. Our chapter began with the 19 visionary chartered members who laid the foundation of a long legacy of service and excellence. And since that time, the men of the Mu Phi chapter have served this community by way of our four cardinal principles of manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. And on April 7, 2026, the Mu Phi chapter celebrated 100 years of service to this community. And we are the first Divine Nine Greek letter organization in the city to celebrate 100 years. We understand to accomplish such a milestone, it takes a collective effort which is why family, friends, and community partners are cordially invited to celebrate with us during our Centennial Gala on June 13th, 2026 at the Savannah Convention Center in the Governor's Ballroom. Doors will open at 6 p.m. Our Centennial motto is honoring the past, igniting the future, 100 years of Omega's impact. Our keynote speaker will be none other than our 42nd National President, Brother Ricky Lawrence Lewis, will provide words of wisdom on that evening. We invite you all to celebrate with us. For ticket and table purchase opportunities, please visit our website at www.savannahUplift.com. We look forward to celebrating with you during this momentous occasion. To Chairman Ellis, thank you for this opportunity to address this distinguished board. Thank you all for your leadership, and may God continue to bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
If you don't mind starting to my right. All right, everybody will introduce themselves going across.
Yes, brothers, please introduce yourselves.
Zeric Samples, Anthony Fulton, Thad Hodges,
James Platts.
Patrick Dean, Leonard Jones,
Aurelius Stevenson III.
James J. Jones.
Rocco Justina.
Robert Simmons Jr.
All right. Now, would you turn around and face that clock and balance the lines? Because we got more to my left than we do to my right. Balance the lines so you can get everybody in the picture.
There you go.
Yeah, some move over to them. There you go. Everybody do that.
Hold that. One more shot, Looking good, guys. Hold that. Thank you.
And hold it one more time for me. I'm his niece, so hold it. 1, 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all
Thank you.
again for being here today. All right. Now may I have the recipient for the proclamation for World Reef Awareness Day to come up to the mic. There's a proclamation in front of you. I'll read portions of it and then I'll turn the mic over to you. Whereas the Blake Plantation is an area located roughly 80 to 200 miles offshore of the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida, and is roughly 115 miles east of Chatham County, and hosts over 80, 80,000 deep sea coral mounts that tour hundreds of feet above the seafloor. And whereas the region is home to the world's largest deep sea coral habitat, it supports a huge divine and abundance of marine life by providing habitat, food, and protection from endangered sea turtles, whales, seabirds, deep sea mammals, nearly 100 species of fish, and more than 200 coral species. Now, therefore, I, Chester Ellis, Chairman on behalf of the Chatham County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim June 1, 2026 as World Reef Awareness Day in Chatham County as a time to acknowledge our ocean's coral reefs and celebrate the unique deep sea. In witness whereof I here to set my hands and cause the seal of Chatham County, Georgia to be affixed this 22nd day of May 2026. The mic is yours.
Thank you, Chairman Ellis, members of the commission. My name is Jeffrey Beauvais. I represent 100 Miles, a coastal nonprofit dedicated to preserving our wonderful coast here. This is my colleague Beth Remis with Georgia Interfaith Power and Light. And on behalf of the Blake Plateau Coalition, we would like to thank the commissioners for passing this resolution of support for establishing protections on the Blake Plateau. We'd also like to thank Jackie Jackson here and your wonderful staff for getting this before the commission. The Blake Plateau is a unique ecosystem of global significance, and it's right off of our shore. And as someone who was born and raised in Chatham County and loves this place deeply, I'm proud that this commission has taken the step of being the first local government in Georgia to pass a resolution of support for this area. This resolution perfectly aligns with the county's mission to become the greenest county in Georgia, and it's a testament to our collective commitment to environmental stewardship. And if I may take one point of personal privilege, I'd also like to encourage the commission to continue this work a little closer to home and refinance and support our conservation measures here, like the Resource Protection Commission. Thank you for your leadership on this, and now I'd like to hand it over to Beth.
Hi, everyone. The Blake Plateau demonstrates the power of community. Its coral structures support nearly 100 species of fish, and working in concert with the Gulf Stream, deep-sea corals help transform the remains of marine life into nutrients and transport it back toward the surface, supporting biodiversity far beyond their immediate surroundings. Our community is coming together to protect this incredible ecosystem. Our coalition consists of many Georgia-based environmental organizations who are building awareness about the Blake Plateau. Gray's Reef National Marine Sanctuary Advisory Council voted in January to recommend evaluating the expansion of protections for deep water coral ecosystems in the Blake Plateau. And now, Chatham County has joined this community, adding its voice to a growing chorus of stewardship. We are grateful to Chatham County for safeguarding its coastal and ocean environment and supporting durable protections for the Blake Plateau. Thank you.
If I may, just one addition. Everyone, I'm Jackie Jackson here with Chatham County, the Resilience Program Administrator. And again, just want to thank you for taking the chance and supporting the resolution. In general, honestly, if something that we're growing to be more aware of and take advantage of are those conservation measures and protection of our coast. And as we see more and more impacts from a changing climate and just overall development and impacts, this is something that becomes more and more critical. So just appreciate the recognition of World Reef Awareness Month and the protection of the plateau, literally encompassing right off the Chatham County coast in that area. So if there's any questions or anything like that. But again, thank you very much.
All right, thank you for all that you do. This time, let me, turn right around. I'm sorry. Yeah, turn right around and yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. At this time, I'm going to call on the manager.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. At this time, I'm going to ask our Human Resources team to come to the front of the room as we recognize county employees for their various years of service to the citizens of this Chatham.
Good morning.
Morning.
This morning, we are recognizing 16 of our most important resources, which are our human resources. Combined, they have a total of 160 years of service. We want to thank you for your service and present you with this small token of our appreciation. With 30 years of service, Colonel Tori Mackey. With 15 years of service, Deidre Royal. With 15 years of service, Edwin Ponce.
Lifetime contract.
15 years of service, Regis Lake. Ten years of service, Daryl Johnson. Ten years of service, Willie Givens Jr. 10 years of service, Keith Flagler. 10 years of service, Tiana Milton. 10 years of service, Brittany Alston. 5 years of service, Corporal Stephanie Odoms. 5 years of service, Gabrielle Smallwood. 5 years of service, Carrie Hicks. 5 years of service, DeVelle Walden. 5 years of service, Stephanie Lewandowski. 5 years of service, Coleman Caprice. And last but not least, 5 years of service, Mr. Richard Adley.
All right, thank you all, to all our employees, thank you for what you do and how well you work with us. Now let me call on Mayor Johnson as he presents to us our graduating seniors of the Chatham County Youth Commission.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of this honorable commission. Good morning. As we spent the last week celebrating the class of 2026, we all are afforded here an extra opportunity to salute those that are ahead of the curve of the next generation of leaders. This year's graduation edition are young people whose names you hear now, but you will hear them again as they make their mark around the community. And we declare as a community that we will continue to see great things from this awesome cadre of young people. If we are serious about the future of our communities, then we must be serious about investing in the young people of today. Youth leadership programs do more than occupy time. They build character, they build confidence, they build discipline, they build character, and they build vision. They expose young people to service, civic engagement, teamwork, and real-world problem-solving opportunities while helping them understand that leadership is not about titles, but it's about responsibility. And strong communities do not happen by accident. They are developed intentionally. And when governments fail to invest in youth leadership, then what happens often happen. But we know when they do invest in youth leadership, that they're investing in the next generation of leaders, teachers, entrepreneurs, public servants, and they strengthen our democracy. And certainly in our 250th year of our union, certainly we know we need young people that are ready and prepared to serve. Today's young people are not just our future, but they are today. They are emerging leaders right now, and they deserve every opportunity to grow, to lead, and to succeed. Simply put, if we fail to prepare young people for leadership, then we fail to prepare our communities for the future. The Chatham County Youth Commission has been around for 35 years. And ladies and gentlemen, you and your predecessors have been doing that. You set the gold standard for this country. There is not a week that does not go by that I do not run into some of the 2,000 young people. Some are now in their 50s. Some now that are almost as old as me, but certainly who remember the time they spent in this space, they remember the time that they have spent among you and your predecessors, and certainly those who remember the things that they learned and how they are engaged. We're still receiving letters and still receiving invitations to graduations, PhDs, MDs, JDs, individuals who are now preparing to retire, children, grandchildren, and even marriages. And certainly, I would believe that the experience that you have afforded these young people have helped to create this for them. I want to thank County Manager Michael Kagler, Assistant County Manager Linda Kramer, particularly Denise Fields of the County Manager's Office. We love Denise Fields, Mr. Kagler. She takes great care of us for her continued support of the Youth Commission. This is not simple, it's not easy, but it's certainly necessary. It's important to recruit leaders, but it's also important to grow them. I thank my team for without them, these are folks that volunteer for this duty of love and purpose and service. Ms. Octavia Brown, Ms. Linda Gordon, Ms. Idell Biles, Ms. Tamika Tribble, and Ms. Willie Mae Knight. So let's give them a round of applause if you don't mind. And most importantly, we call them our partners in progress. We know that it takes a village to raise a child, and we are so grateful that Chatham County is allowed to be that village. Additionally to the parents and the loved ones of these amazing young people. So we have parents here today. So we have parents, would you please stand? Parents, grandparents, godparents, big mamas. We have anyone here today? We have some here. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you. So, Mr. Chairman, if you would join me as we salute our graduates. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Mariah Cade is our current chairperson. She just graduated this week from Savannah Arts Academy. She is going to Augusta University, where she will study biology. And her parents could not be with us, but I know that they are watching. Ms. Jada Sams has graduated from Johnson High School. She's a third-year youth commissioner. She graduated from Johnson. She'll be going to Albany State University, where she'll be studying elementary education. Mr. Adam Goodwin graduated from Savannah Arts Academy this week. He was a one-term youth commissioner. He is going to Georgia Southern University, where he will be studying mechanical engineering. Miss Ariana Oliphant graduated this week from New Hampstead High School. She will be going to New Mexico State University, where she will be studying animal science. And Ms. Kimbra Simpson graduated from Woodville Tompkins this week. She will be going to North Carolina A&T University, where she will study computer science. Let's give a big round of applause to the class of 2026. You all can have a seat. So now we will entertain some remarks and reflections from our chair, Ms. Mariah Cade.
Good morning, everyone. Before I start, I want to say thank you. Thank you to our mayor, our advisors, staff members, mentors, and every single person who helped guide us throughout this journey. Thank you for believing in us, encouraging us, and giving young people the opportunity to grow through experience. Thank you for supporting us through every meeting, trip, event, and every chaotic moment along the way. And most importantly, thank you to my family and my parents. None of this would have been possible without your love, sacrifices, advice, and constant support. Thank you for every early morning, every ride, every late night talk, and every moment you reminded me to keep going, even when I felt stressed or exhausted. Everything I've accomplished is because of the foundation you've built for me and the confidence that you've given me every single day. Now, I just want to say, wow, we actually did it and we made it. Standing here today as Madam Chair feels unreal. Over these past years as a group, we have made unforgettable memories, creating friendships that feel like family. Being part of Youth Commission has honestly been one of the most meaningful experiences of my life. It gave me so much more than leadership skills or the volunteer hours. It gave me confidence, opportunities, memories, networking, and most importantly, a second family. Somewhere along the way, we became more than just a group. We became the Crazy Bananas. And honestly, that name fits us perfectly, because no normal group skips the line and sneaks through the back of Miss Wilkes' restaurant like it's a secret mission. But those are the moments I'll remember the most. One minute we're laughing so hard we can't breathe, and the next we're tossing around trying to find the best position to sleep in on the bus ride to New York City. Somehow those random moments became the ones that mattered the most. CCYC has given us opportunities most people only dream about. This year, I got the chance to meet former Vice President Kamala Harris. I mean, honestly, how do you even explain that? That's when I realized CCYC wasn't just giving us events to attend. It was giving us stories we'll tell for the rest of our lives. The National League of Cities in Tampa, where we definitely got way less sleep than we should have. to bonding over matching pajama pants from the Coca-Cola factory and sneaking in a little pool time before dinner. Every moment brought us closer together. And of course, I can't forget the Utah hockey game with Srila. I genuinely don't forget her dedication to number 8. After that game, I'm pretty sure she knows her address, his favorite color, maybe his schedule for today. Respect the commitment, though. Even if we're not in person, for example, our snow day Zoom meetings, we all somehow end up talking to each other, yelling random things at random time, laughing nonstop, and surprisingly still understanding each other perfectly. That's the one thing about this group. No matter where we are or what we're doing, we found a way to make every moment last. This role has challenged me, pushed me outside of my comfort zone, and helped me grow into a more confident version of myself. There were moments where I doubted myself, moments where I felt overwhelmed or scared of messing up. But this group reminded me that leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, supporting others, growing together, and making an impact while staying true to yourself. So to my fellow members, thank you. Thank you for every laugh, every inside joke, every chaotic memory, and every moment that became a part of our story. Thank you for becoming my people. CCYC taught me something I'll carry with me forever. Leadership is important, but connection is everything. Years from now, I probably won't remember every meeting agenda or every schedule, but I remember how this group made me feel. I remember the laughter, the support, the chaos, and the feeling of belonging to something bigger than myself. As we move on to the next chapter of our lives, I hope we never lose the energy, friendship, and spirit that made us the crazy bananas. Because today isn't really goodbye. It's just the end of one incredible chapter and the beginning of many more. And as your amazing mayor always says, your network is your net worth. So don't forget about us, because now we're alumni. Congratulations, CCYC graduates. We did it. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that ends our presentation. They don't have school to go back to, but I would hope that you would excuse them to begin their summer.
All right. Listen, we thank you for the job you're doing, and
Thank you.
I've said to the manager now, we have to go to New Orleans to put on a visitation show, because next year, this time, we will be getting ready for the national organization of the commission to come in. And so he's supposed to.
We're working on it.
Okay, good. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for the job. Thank you, young people, for doing the job you do, for keeping us Chatham proud. All right? Thank you. We don't have any chairman's items. We don't have any commissioner items. We don't have a table item. Items for individual action. Before we get started with our items for individual action, I see that our Chief Judge, Judge Moss, has joined us. Thank you so much for being here, sir. All right. To request board approval of the following budget amendments and transfer: 1, in the general fund, increase state revenues $125,000 to increase the public defender's office operating account. 2, in the multi-grant fund, decrease revenues and expenditures $2,362,492 for the One Georgia Authority grant. Allow revenue and transfer funds between projects as listed in alternate 1 below the sales tax 1 fund, sales tax 3 fund, sales tax 4 fund, sales tax 5 fund, sales tax 7 fund. In the capital grant fund, increase revenues and expenditures $362,492 for the One Georgia Authorization Authority Grant. 5, in the Capital Improvement Program Fund, A, transfer $3,047,527, $527,527 from CIP contingency to establish a Village of Carter Manor project. B, increase sales of assets, $44,000 to increase expenditures and establish a salt and freshwater migration project. Are you ready for question? No, I'm sorry.
Motion
May I have a
to
motion?
approve.
All right.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Properly motion is second that the request be granted. Questions? Please cast your votes. Dean went out, okay. Resolution to adopt the 2026 county multi-jurisdictional hazard migration plan. Is there a motion?
Second.
Properly motion is second that the resolution be adopted. Are you ready for the question? Let's cast your votes. To present the fiscal year 2025-2026 third quarter financial report dated March 31st, 2026 to the board for information, and that'll bring on Ms. Davis.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Dave Ramsey once said that a budget is directing where your money goes, not wondering where it went. So shortly, our county manager is going to tell us where we're planning for our money to go next year. I'm here to tell you where it went. So with that, we have the third quarter, which ended in March 31st. And let me get the slideshow up. Let's see. There we go. We ended March 31st with revenues of $203.8 million in the general fund, with expenditures of $215.5 million. In the special service district, we had revenues of $58.4 million and expenditures of $45.3. Looking at that a little closer, as you can see, most of that, about 50% of that, is our taxes in the general fund. More than about 60% or more in the special services is taxes. So you can look at all of those. Our expenditures close up, our general administration, 41.8, judicial, 37.0, public safety, 74.7, public works, 1.7, health and welfare, 13.1, parks and recreation, 17.5, and so on, for a total of $215 million. Special services, our general administration was 2.1, judicial, 1 million, public safety by far the biggest at 27.6, and public works at 7.2. Sales tax collections in the general fund, our lost collections were 6.1 million for the quarter and 23.2 for the year. Our SPLOST 7 collections were 29.6 million and 620 million for the year. Cash and investments, we had a total of $670 million. Most of that in the general fund, 265 million, and then in the various SPLOST funds, with the highest being SPLOST 7 at 176 million. I would like to say that that's about to take a dent because we are paying off our bonds. So 67.4 million has been accumulated to pay off our bonds, which means we will no longer have 3.3 million in interest payments. Yes.
That's great.
Other funds, our E911 fund had revenues of 4.1 million, expenditures of 10.6. We did not have a general fund transfer in E911 this year. They used up their fund balance reserves, and that is the reason why there's such an increase in our transfer this next year of $7 million of this next budget. As of the end of the quarter, they had spent 77.7% of their budget. 14.1 million has been spent on capital improvements in the capital fund. Most of that is equipment and vehicle replacements, but it's also park improvements and other projects, including our SEMA building out by the airport. Our curbside pickup revenues are significantly up. As you remember, we did increase those that fee this last year, and it has significantly helped shore up that fund. We are no longer in the red. And our parking garage fund, while a very small fund, I like to highlight it because it has traditionally lost money, and we are in the black this year, so I like highlighting that. And unfortunately, our sewer fund is still in the sewer. Well, we have a lot of work to do on that. So it's right now we're 856 million in the red on that fund. 1,000. Sorry, I keep saying that. I said that last quarter too. And that is all I have for today. Is there any questions?
Questions? Questions? Yes, sir.
Just a quick question. I know the water system, water used to be an enterprise fund. Is the sewer fund not an enterprise fund? And if so, why are we in the negative?
It is an enterprise fund on paper, but it does not seem to be making any revenue. We have increased those fees significantly, and we are still not seeing any return to profitability.
What relation to like City of Savannah or other municipalities with their sewer fees? Are we in line with them, or are we still way below like we used to be with the water service?
We have some of the highest sewer rates in the state.
We, Chatham County.
Yes.
Wow.
All right. Any other questions? All right, thank you, ma'am. At this time, let us call on Director Sirhead.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
There we go. All right, it's been a couple, 2 or 3 months. So we've, one of the things that obviously we're up against is manpower. We have increased manpower not quite a bit, but we've brought some other additional people on. So we're really only down about, I think about 12 agents. And then we have some support staff. Those are easier to fill. But we continue to increase our capabilities on the intel side and technical side. So the agents that we do have, they can do more. They spend more time being agents than being intel analysts. So that's going along pretty good. We did onboard 2 agents. So there's a learning curve there, probably a good year before they're really off and running, and then probably another 3 years after that before they're really can there's not much that come at them that they don't know. So, and then we just started our intern program. So we brought 4 interns in. We're working this with Georgia Southern. This is going to be a very good program for us. We interviewed 8 kids, and we were going to take 4, 2 of them are paid part-time, and 2 of them are not paid. But all those kids, we've got them on, they're in. We've got full-blown background investigations, polygraphs, the whole shoot and match, which is good for them, so they start learning the process of how to get hired and all that other good stuff. And every one of those kids is sharp. So it's good for us. We get a lot of support out of that. And then I think early on, they get a flavor for law enforcement, and so we can start getting these kids to where they want to actually be to serve in that area. So I'm excited about that program. All right, just the quick little update. So far this year, we've rolled the trailer out once. We took it out to Thunderbolt for the Blessing of the Fleet. We got about 50 people through there. The trailer is big, and so it's really hard when you're in that little area to get it put in the right place to get a lot of people through there. But everybody seem to be happy. We've got 3 additional times we're going to take that adult drug awareness trailer out that we're already scheduled for. And I'm in the process of taking all the funds from that opioid abatement fund and segregating them out so that we can then list what we're spending on each one of these programs. I'm going to put that on the website so the public will know. We're real close to finalizing all of that. Just a couple of things. We've kind of pretty much met the goal with getting onboarding 2 dual diagnosed doctors here in the county. Through Gateway. Those people were fantastic. So I think those doctors are going to hunker down here, which was the key in the whole process. There was to make sure that we got additional doctors that specialized in that area. The program with the licensed practicing counselors with the school system is going very well. So as they get those people up to snuff, they're certified, we're able to take them off the rolls and bring another one on. So the long-term goal there would be to have at least 12 licensed practicing counselors that are school counselors. The beauty of that program is it really doesn't cost that much amount of money because we're using school counselors that already have the schooling, so we don't have to start from scratch with that. Plus, we're not paying their salaries, and they already have a job. So that program that's a win. And then the PPI program, last time I reported, I kind of gave you the summary for the year. Just a quick little on that. We were in, 10 high schools. I think 10 high schools. We trained like 325 of the high schoolers, and those high schoolers presented to a little over 3,200 of the middle schoolers. So that's going really good. I hope to, with the work with the mediation center, those people they're fantastic, and what a great relationship we have with them along with the school system. So in the coming year, we're looking at probably training another 300 of the high schoolers to be positive peer influencers. And then the one thing that we're working on is I want to go full circle with this. So, we've got the high schoolers, training the high schoolers to go in and talk to the middle schoolers. So to me, the last piece of the puzzle is we're going to work with Georgia Southern and Savannah State, and we'd like to train some of those college kids to be positive peer influencers, and then let them go into the high schools and talk to the high schoolers. So I think if we can get that full circle thing going there, it's going to be, the high schoolers are going to, they're definitely going to listen to the kids that just went to college and what they're seeing there. So I'm excited about that. Some good news, and then here's the bad news. So, so far this quarter, we've been called out on 27 potential overdose deaths. 6 of those were non-fatal. As of today, we're at 21, and so that has ticked up pretty high. There's obviously ebbs and flows through the year, so I'm not really thinking that we're pushing panic buttons, that we're going back to the numbers that we saw in 23 and 24. But we definitely have our finger on the pulse. So this is almost the end of May, and of those 21, we've only gotten 5 tox screens back from the lab. So it takes a long time to get this stuff back, which bogs down our prosecution of those cases. But, once again, I've been harping on, cross-contamination and that these drug dealers are poly drug dealers. And they are lacing everything with fentanyl. Either they're doing it on purpose or there's cross-contamination. So of those 5, 2 of those tox came back with fentanyl and cocaine in the bloodstream. Okay, so and I know for a fact that we were on the scene on those 2 investigations, and those individuals thought they were purchasing cocaine. They did not know that it was going to be laced with fentanyl. And then another 2 with fentanyl and methamphetamine. And then really the one scary one is, the fentanyl and the xylazine. We've talked about that briefly in the past. The xylazine is a super tranquilizer that veterinarians use, and it's for big animals. It ain't for puppy dogs. We're talking horses and elephants on up. So that's some pretty serious stuff there. And really the worst part of that is the xylazine, the body, Narcan won't flush it out of the system. So that's the scary part of that one there. So I was contacted by the chief Balliard, not last night, but the night before. One of their officers pulled over car, sees some pretty good amount of meth from that individual. The person was arrested. They seized the evidence. They took it to the PD, processed it per their guidelines. They did it in a safe manner, and then after that, the officer went home and started to feel very, very sick. They called 911. Thank God the wife was a nurse. They lived in the Richmond Hill area. Richmond Hill responded. They hit him with Narcan, and he right away he felt like he was okay. So we don't have any of those tox screens back or any of that, but dollars to donuts that was more than likely an accidental contamination. My guess is that they were processing it properly with all the PPE and the gloves, and you're processing stuff, and then you went over here, and then you wipe it on your, you wipe something off on your pants, and then you get home, and boom, then you got a cross-contamination. So we're looking at that real close. I'll let you know if that finally turns out to be that. But all reports, the second they hit him with Narcan, he was fine. So just keep that in mind. Yes, sir.
You ready for questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, go.
On the touch screens, the delays and all, who actually does the touch screens?
GBI, the lab.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'm not getting down on the lab. We were close with them, but it takes time to get this stuff back. And the other thing is I don't have the dates. I mean, for all I know, those 21, 15 of those were within the last 6 weeks. Okay, so even though I'm talking about a quarter, I don't know when those, exactly occurred. Yes, ma'am?
Commissioner Sessions?
Yes, thank you. I was just curious.
look at the numbers. Just curious about, is there a pattern that you're seeing something going on in the community when you see the 2023 jump from 22 went from 59 to a pretty high 86 being the highest?
So, and I'll kind of quickly get you up to speed on this. All right. So I took over as a director in 2020. And at that time, we as a community really weren't focused on fentanyl or investigating it or keeping the stats or whatever. And so it took me 2 years to rev up the process and get everybody on board and do the protocols and how we handle everything and how the PDs will contact us. So that 59 number is a partial year. So we had 59, but is that accurate for that year? No. Okay? And so the first full year that we were actually, that I felt comfortable saying we did not have less than 86 was 2023. That number, we didn't have less than that number. So when somebody shows up, so if somebody calls 911 and EMSO's on the scene, they hit them with Narcan, revive them, transport them to the hospital, and they die at the hospital, we don't get that number. So we're not a part of that number. So, understand that these numbers are just the ones that we are aware of. Probably pretty close, but I couldn't tell you exact. Did that answer? So I guess the follow-up to that would be to answer your question, no. All right, that it runs in cycles, it runs in batches. I would hope that, by the end of 23, we had our overdose death unit that's investigating these fired up and rolling. All the police departments were on board. We moved any fentanyl investigations to the top of the to-do list, and we're aggressively going after those. And then, nationally, just all the advertising and all the public service announcements and all that, I think and then they really shut the border down because that's when about 80% of the fentanyl came across the southeast border. So a combination of all that, I'd like to say that, what C&T did, we maybe had a little bit in that number.
Thank you.
So the overdose death unit is really starting to take shape. I kind of highlight 2 cases here. One of them was the one that I talked about. The individuals thought they were purchasing cocaine. And 2 of them took it. One of them immediately reacted and died right there on the spot. The other one was EMS revived. On that case and this other case, within 24 hours, with our protocols getting on the scene, our investigative capabilities from the technical side, and just getting downright good at doing these in cases, within 24 hours, we had that person ID'd that had sold that dope to that individual. I can remember where we were dealing weeks and weeks and months weeding through stuff to figure out, who that person was. So we're getting good. We're getting better. And then the last piece, obviously, is the Healing Hearts group that meets once a month. Very powerful. I go to all those meetings, just the family support group for any family member that's lost one to an overdose. All right, the major case unit, I really don't have anything to report on the major case. We were right in the middle of something, and so I would hope by the next time I come visit everybody, I'll have some updates for that. And then the TAC teams, just very quick, we took a Crime Stopper tip, and these cases don't really seem like a whole lot, but I'm kind of proud of to take a tip and that tip typically may not be a whole lot of information, and my guys and gals are able to utilize what we have and are capable of turning that into a bona fide investigation fairly quickly. And this is the results. You know, once again, poly drug dealers, I like to keep highlighting this, you know, fentanyl, meth, cocaine, marijuana, 2 stolen handguns, and an AK-47, a couple of AK-47s. So that's kind of the stuff we're seeing there. That's usually there's the shot of all of that. And then, once again, I absolutely want to offer up, you know, come out, get with Mike, and we can really get into some of the capabilities, because it's very, very impressive, especially the new commissioner. I know most of you guys have been out, but, you know, if you do want to come out, feel free, because we have a lot of talent in my shop that allows us to use the latest and greatest technology, because they're capable of using it. So a lot of talent out there.
All right, any questions? Thank you. No questions? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Everybody have a nice holiday.
All right.
Thank you.
At this time, let me call on the manager.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. One of my primary responsibilities as manager is to present a balanced budget to you for your consideration. I'm happy today that we've been able to put a budget together that addresses the strategic objectives of this commission and also addresses the mandated functions that we're required to fund as county government. Today, I'm presenting a proposed budget to you that's balanced. On the M&O side of the house, it's about $328 million, which is under 4% growth over last year. In the SSD budget, it's $74.5 million, which reflects a little more than 0.5% growth over last year. So I think county staff has done a great job in putting the budget together for you. This budget is heavy on public safety. We've invested a lot of resources into the fire department, E911, and our BHU unit. So those issues are focused in on in the new budget. We've also, as county government has grown and the need for providing additional services to citizens of this community, we've also added a number of positions in this budget. We'll be happy to go over those with you. We've got several meetings that will be scheduled. The budget is scheduled for adoption on June the, let me get my correct date. On June the 26th, we'll have our first workshop on the budget and public hearing on June 12th at 9:30. We'll have a second public hearing on the millage on June 18th at 9 o'clock, followed by a board budget workshop at 10, and the second public hearing on the millage at 6 o'clock on June 18th. And as I said earlier, we're scheduled for budget adoption on June 26th. So before you have the proposed budget. It goes from my budget now to your budget. I'd ask that you review it. If you have any questions, staff is here to answer whatever questions you have. The budget is also public as of today, so it's online, it's in the library, so citizens of this community, they can start looking at the budget also. At this time, Mr. Chairman, I'll be happy to entertain any questions that you may have.
Questions? Go.
Will you give us those dates again, please?
Yes.
You can.
Yes, ma'am. We'll email them to you, but
Okay.
Just for the public, the first hearing on the budget is scheduled for June 12th, and that's at 9:30 in this room. On June 18th, we will have the first public hearing on the millage levy at 9 o'clock, followed by a budget workshop at 10. And then the second public hearing on the millage will be on June 18th at 6 p.m. And as I said, we're scheduled for budget adoption on June 26th.
Thank you.
And we'll send that out to the commission and we make that public, so the public will have that information also.
What time on 26th?
During the regular meeting at 9. Yes, sir.
Thank you. You got it?
Any other
Thank
questions?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, as you review the budget, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give my office a call. I've got the finance staff on standby. Any questions you'll have, we'll be able to answer and address it.
All right. Let me have a motion to accept the action calendar's entirety except for 15R, right?
Motion.
Second.
Properly motion and second that we accept the action calendar's entirety except for 15R. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. All right. First reader, we're gonna read it into the records, and then we'll have discussion and public comments as we go. Amend to Chapter 21 entitled Health, Safety, and Sanitation to add Article 14 entitled Community Redevelopment Area Tax Incentive Program to address blighted properties within unincorporated Chatham County and to provide other lawful proposals of the Chatham County Code Book. The petitioner, Marcus Lotson, on behalf of the Chatham County Commissioner, is requesting a text amendment for industrial buffer Z-0410-0000516. The petitioner, Marcus Lotson, for the Chatham County Commissioners, MPC file number Z 0410-0000516. All right. Let me have a motion to table the second reading of the short-term rental.
Motion.
Properly motion and second that we table the amendment for chapter 16. Ready for the question? Please cast your votes. All right.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
For the public, we will be scheduling a workshop for the board on the short-term vacation rentals, and we'll probably have another public meeting to get additional input. So I just want the public to know that.
Yeah, I was out at a public meeting on Tuesday, and a lot of questions that were raised, and some of them I had that I did not ask any questions because I wanted to hear from the public, and so that's why I asked the commission to let's table that until we get those questions legal and otherwise answered. All right? Information item, Mr. Manager?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman. No additions to the information items I presented in pre-meeting.
Okay, there is a need for us to go into executive session for litigation, acquisition, and appointment. May I have a motion to do so?
Motion to.
Properly motion to second that we recess into executive session. Ready for the question? Please cast your votes. We are recessed.
Thank you.